YouTube, Marvel fans. It is bright and early in the morning, but last night we got Daredevil. And let me just start off by saying this has the potential to be the best season of Daredevil that they have ever done on TV and or film for that matter. And this is just a little warning. I'm gonna wait. I'm projecting that, but I'm gonna wait before I can formally say that until the season is over to see how they land this thing. Oh, man, all right, where do we get into? Real quick, y'all. Okay, so episode 4, gloves off. Spoiler warning, spoilers. This is all spoilers and speculation, baby. I'm going off the hip. We get the opening scene with Dex at the diner. And bro is basically hunting the AVTF agents. He is calling them to locations, didn't use a weapon out of his arsenal. He looked around and saw all the knives and forks and spoons and was like, I got this. Like, he was probably just counting the bodies he could throw on by doing that. And the thing about Bullseye, and I still don't like his costume. I'm sorry. I would like for them to just put the white on the top instead of having it clear. But maybe because of the situation, that's a little too obvious to say who he is. And because the plot of the show is vigilantes being hunted, maybe that's why he doesn't have it. But I would love to see a little bit more of a comic accurate suit. But man, his character is killing it. I don't know if I've ever really seen a character on TV with his power set. So the way that they have to show him killing people and stuff, and how creative they can get with him bouncing it off of things and hitting this and hitting that. And I mean, he's just like a souped up vigilante Hawkeye. It makes you wonder, like, and I know that this is comics, but if Hawkeye was going to be an assassin, why would he turn into a ninja with a sword, to do Ronin? Why wouldn't he just use his bow and arrow? Because he's supposed to have the same kind of pinpoint accuracy. He could have just used his bow and arrow and hit people from yards away. He could have did way more damage. But I don't know. That's for another discussion. Anyway, so he's at the diner and he's just taking out the agents. And that is probably not the best scene of the season, but it's up there. It's argumentative if whether or not that is potentially one of the best scenes that they have shot or done. I think the fight choreography, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the fact that they got the original Netflix fight choreographer back, but we're doing it on a Marvel Studios scope and scale and budget, to me, all of the fight choreography looks better this season. Even in last season, a lot of the fight choreography looked good as well. So, like I said, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think he did all of the fight choreography last year because he had to be brought back when they brought back all of the Netflix, when they brought back Bo Scar the Pain and the showrunner and everything, when they pivoted and changed directions. I think that's when the fight choreographer came back. I know he was good friends with Charlie Cox. Charlie Cox was fighting for him to be a part of the Born Again, and much like with Deadpool 3, Feige had his own people. He wanted to do his own thing and go a different direction, only to later then pivot and let them do what they wanted to do. So take that for what you will. But the fight choreography this season is like some of the best that I've seen for a Marvel project, really, in general. Like, Daredevil feels and looks like Daredevil, and a lot of the villains, like, the stuff that Dex is doing feels like Bullseye. So hats off to that. Other things that stood out to me, like I said, we're getting Angela, I think her name's Angela Ayala, We're kind of getting her origin story on the White Tiger. She's trying to do more. Man, Karen didn't want to let her get the chip. She getting loosey goosey. She gave it to the guy, the kid who started the whole thing at the store with the aunt and everything, and the agents. I'll say this: he was very slick in how he tried to hand it to her or put it in her pocket. But make no mistake, Daniel is on it. He already suspects her. I think this is going to end badly. Like I said last time, this is going to end badly for multiple characters in the show. I'm not sure if BB makes it out of season 2. I think what they were looking at in the trunk in the trailer, it's got to be either her tied up or her already dead, or because they were talking about chopping up the body and all this other stuff. I think BB is not going to make it. And they're trying to do a good job of making her an integral part of the plot and storyline, as far as, they just kind of stick it to what they originally wanted to do with her, and having the BB report and having that all play a part in Kingpin coming down. But yeah, I think Daniel is on to her. I think he's catching everything, but he's not saying anything. And I guess they're trying to just say that that's how much in love with her he is, to where he's kind of like in denial a little bit. And she's gonna, and when it happens, it's gonna be a thing where, like, you made me do this to you. You forced me to do this to you. I didn't want to do this to you, but you made me do this to you. So, other things, and hopefully, I know I'm sitting up here talking a lot. Hopefully this microphone is working and we're not getting dead silence, because I did leave my microphone in the car all night, and I think that's what makes it tend to mess up. So, a few other things though, off the top. The fact that Vanessa was talking to the governor, I forget what the governor's name is. I'm kind of disappointed. This is what makes it so good. I did not see this coming this early in the episode, but there's only 8. So the fact that it's called Gloves Off lets you know the state that Wilson Fisk is in by the end of this. And I think this is what everybody was talking about as far as it picking up. And what they must mean by that is detention, because the gloves coming off is a bad thing for everybody. Like, this is the one thing that's going to make Kingpin or Wilson Fisk lose his shit for the rest of the season, and probably for the rest of the domain of his character in the MCU. He's never going to be right after this. He is going to be savage. And I was looking forward to the Vanessa relationship with the governor, how they played that out in that scene. Was like, oh, this could be interesting how they choose to play this out. And immediately, like 10 minutes later, nope. I don't know. He sent her away specifically for that reason. I don't know what it was about. Did she want to die? Like, she was having the dreams and premonitions. She knew it was going to be Bullseye. Everything was blue in the dream. The rose was blue. I don't know if it's just that he didn't tell her because he was trying to protect her, but he should have told her, this is a trap to Laurel Bullseye here. So if you're not here, then you are not in danger. And I don't know why she just, even at the end, like when the cops were trying to hold her, or the agents were trying to shield her or protect her, she pushed them out the way so she could shoot him. Like, she wanted to die. That's how I'm going to interpret this. She wanted to die, because you don't go to somebody like that and ask them to do a hit, knowing that they're a professional killer, and then think that you're going to get the drop on them with your little gun. Yeah, just not smart. And her character is way smarter than that. So I'm going to just chalk it up as she wanted to die, like, for whatever reason, whatever. The governor respected her and we kind of figured out her respect for Vanessa is why she did what she did at the ballroom table in episode, I think it was 1. Um, yeah, was that episode 1 or is that episode 2? It might have been episode 2. But it kind of makes sense now why, because we were all trying to figure out why is she back in Fisk, because she obviously don't like this dude. Like, but no, that's the reason why. That's the reason why. So you got he throws the thing, and I believe that's the thing that Daniel had bought, the whole New York thing. He breaks it with the belt, with the championship belt, which I didn't see coming. And they showed him with the belt before that, and I didn't really pick up. Usually when they show things like that, they're planning to use them in some sort of way later. So that one came kind of fast. And then the piece of it still broke off and hit her in the temple. Now, there's a chance she could survive. I mean, she was bleeding out a lot, and especially since she got hit in the temple, my thought would be that she's probably gone. But either way, Fisk is going to lose his shit. Now, the only criticism I have to this, I really wish with them going after so many vigilantes that they had more vigilantes. Like, they're mentioning the same 3, 4, maybe 5 people throughout this series. Frank Castle is the white whale. He's the prize, the lion's head, I guess, of all of this, which is weird because he does not wear a mask. They know him as the Punisher, but they also know his first name, so it's not like it is with Matt Murdock being Daredevil. They mentioned Daredevil. They mentioned the White Tiger from last season, given his demise. So when she comes back as the White Tiger, that's going to be a big thing. And then they'll mention Spider-Man here and there, like, the guy with the spider suit kind of thing. But you don't hear them talking about Danny Rand Iron Fist or Colleen Wing Iron Fist, or, they never even mention, not that they would mention Trish Walker. She never really got to do the Hellcat thing, really. But, Jessica Jones, like, if they, okay, so per the trailer, which I thought the episodes would have been yesterday, she comes and says, they came to my door with my daughter there. So it's like they know who she is. You don't really see her mentioned and then all of that. And I think that's a great motivating factor to get her in the game. Like, it's a personal vendetta. It's like I feel like they have to explain why these superheroes have not jumped in the fight up to this point. And if they're going to play it all like they just played the Jessica Jones thing, that's a great reason, especially if it's with Luke Cage. That's a great reason for both of them to join in the fight. And then if Luke Cage joins in the fight and Danny Rand's his best friend, Danny Rand's probably, you know what I'm saying? Wherever he's at or whatever's going on, they have an endpoint for all of the heroes to now be included, which if I'm Daredevil, I'm like, y'all supposed to be my friends. Why wouldn't you seen what was going on? Why wouldn't you just jump in, offhand? And then depending on how they play Frank and Spider-Man's relationship in A Brand New Day, it's just kind of like, okay, does Spider-Man know these people as well? Because they all seem to know Frank, and, Frank is a loner at the same time, so he ain't like chit-chatting, so whatevs. But overall, man, another solid episode. I want to give that episode, I'm not really into ranking episodes, so I'll just say it's just getting better and better. It's building to this point from 1 to 4 so far. It's just getting better and better. So let me know how you guys felt about Daredevil Born Again down in the comment section. I see I've rambled here for almost 15 minutes. Didn't realize it was that long. One other piece of news that did kind of drop, and I might do more on this, but just real quickly, man. Brad Winderbaum is out here in these internet streets talking. And I have found that his track record for when he talks, that man does not lie. He has not lied. Everything he said, and he only hits. He don't like boldly brash like, oh yeah, we're doing blah blah blah. No, he just be like, well, if people watch it, we'll get another one. And then they'll ask him, well, hey, did people watch Marvel Zombies? He was like, yeah, people watch Marvel Zombies. Season 2 just been renewed, just been greenlit. He said, oh, well, are we getting the Defenders back? Yeah, it's a possibility. I just watched the whole every Netflix show and series, and that is a task, mind you. He's the head of Marvel TV. That's his job. So if he's watching the whole Netflix every season of those shows to canonize them, that's how I knew it was no doubt that Luke Cage and Iron Fist, everybody was coming back because he watched all of that to foolproof it. Now, here's the thing. There's two other series or two other shows that he said that he's watched, which is making me think we're getting a reboot or renewal in a season 2. And those shows are She-Hulk, which he just came out and said I don't know if he said it was his favorite character, but he said that was one of his favorite characters, and they would like to revisit the She-Hulk storyline, which I can't imagine them. I think they need to just use She-Hulk as a side character, probably in movie projects, so you have the budget and you don't have the constraints or problems. I can't see where it's viable to them to do another She-Hulk season 2. Now, even if it was successful, it's like if it was getting the views and getting the attention, which it's a comedy, comedies never do. But if it was getting that kind of accolades, then okay, I could understand investing in it. But that one surprised me. That did surprise me. But I'm here for it. Make no mistake, I'm here for it. And Tatiana Maslany has not been fired, will not be fired. She could say what the F she want to say, just like Mark Ruffalo could say what they want to say. They might as well just do like a Hulk's unhinged and just let them just go and just let them just in Hulk. They should CGI them up and let them talk mad shit. That's what I would do with a season 2 of She-Hulk. But the other show that he has reportedly watched all seasons of is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And he confirmed that he had met with Clark Gregg. I think it may have been at the New York Comic-Con in October, November. When he was stating this, I think it was the Brandon Davis interview when him and Jessica Jones, or him and Kristen Ritter, excuse me, were talking, and he was saying, he had met with Clark Gregg. He had recently just rewatched all seasons of S.H.I.E.L.D. and said that they really kind of found their footing once they kind of broke off from the MCU. I want to put this out there, but I don't want to this is not like a confirmation or anything, but this man has not lied to us. Everything that he has said and invested in has come to fruition. So just check the track record on what he says. I think we're getting Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. either reboot or rebrand or some sort of continuation to get those guys back in the fray some sort of way. And that's all I'm going to say. I think I'm going to just leave it there. If I hear anything else more on it, I will dive into it deeper and try to find out what's going on. But man, I don't ever remember Marvel cooking this much food at one time. And everything that's coming out of the kitchen right now has been on point. So, take it for what you will. Call me a shill. I don't care. That's the news for today. Until tomorrow, I'm out. Peace.